All right. Technically, it says I'm recording.
Yeah, I got a notification.
It just told me it's recording.
Cool.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So, for Maggie, we will record.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello, Maggie.
Oh, this is for Maggie?
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got some silly excuse for not being here.
I still call bullshit. Sounds like laziness to me.
So I hope, I'm not sure how this is going to show up. We'll try it for this session through Zoom. I'll screen share and record directly through Zoom. I don't know what it looks like when I do this, so
We're
I
gonna
guess I can
find
see.
out today.
But otherwise, I'll use OBS next time.
Nice. Ooh.
Right. Sorry about being gone there for a minute.
How dare you?
Well, said you were being bad, so I imagine you went to a back alley and played a quick like magic game.
I had to
He
go
was
do
being a dad.
dad stuff.
No, I heard bad, and that's what immediately my mind just went off, and I'm like, all right, I'm in a different place now. Rick's off being bad.
It's definitely dad stuff.
So it's been a minute and a half, approximately, since last we played.
Mm-hmm.
We met not too long ago, but we didn't play that session.
Because we're super cool.
I have notes from 1028.
That
Damn.
sounds right.
Did we skip a month? I guess so.
Yeah, so we had the 1028, and then 2 weeks later we met.
11/11.
fucked it
Just
up.
hung out. It was Maggie's last. Well, no, we met. Hold on. We met the 28th, and then 2 weeks later.
Because I fucked it up.
And then 1 week later. Right? I can go look. We have the schedule written down.
I remember we were on a boat.
I remember
And
we got
We're on a boat.
We were trying to steer the boat and
Flying the
failing miserably.
Landing the boat. Yeah.
We did land the boat.
Yep.
We did play November 11th.
Oh.
No, wait. That was November 11th was the last game Maggie was here. We did not play.
Correct.
And then we played on the 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're super cool.
Yeah. Well, I can read what I wrote on the 28th.
What did you wrote?
I wrote, Lockley is not adorable cat. Maybe majestic. Snorf is a squishy-faced cat, like an adorable gremlin. All right. The floating lady is parked above the fortress city of Dewhurst. Communism gone right. Gotta keep an eye out on the old volcano, don't you know? Gate always open, but not today. Classic. I want to put the ship down in the river with the aim to sail to the docks of Dewhurst. All hands on deck to land. Zelpass keeps me from being hit by a boom, but it doesn't save Hadrick, who is prepping the anchor right in the noggin. Area is guiding me. From the cat's nest, Percy sees we're getting close to trees. I ask Misery to check the blind spot below us. She sees shallow water and advises on the nest. And advises on the best landing spot. Holy crap, we made it. Percy drops his tuna mayonnaise sandwich from the cat's nest. Focus, Percy.
Yeah, I remember the sandwich.
I forgot about. Yeah, I remember.
We
now.
see a dwarf. Royal Decree number 2792432. We have to drop anchor to be boarded. Zelpes does funny anchor shenanigans. This causes Percy to fall onto old sandwich and drops his new sandwich. Cat's got some nip, have zoomies. Dwarves approach in large mining type ship. It is 5th day of Karar. These dwarves know about New Windermere. They sound familiar with it. Zelpass is in the lake of the Mint. Really? No. Zelpass is painfully honest and asks if we can visit Kruvis. We're not on the list. Area says we got the ship in the lake of the Mist. They offer to stock us with 3 days of supplies and to quarantine at their docks. We don't have time to quarantine, plus they've already seen our messy eyes. So they are worried about impotence. We need Mount Grimsby Ash, but we need a guide to find the right stuff to be used as a component of protective wards to contain time fuckery. All right, that was probably more a note for myself. All right, guards work for his spikiness, King Larsonius Pellicinius.
Pellicinius, yeah.
All right, we ask him to find our friend Kevin Costner, a troupe of 90s actors and singers. We agreed to pull the boat in, but we are not waiting 3 days to get into the city.
And that's where you ended it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say that was a pretty solid recap.
Detailed with the landing of the boat and all the shit that went down. Fuck.
And especially the notes about the sandwich.
That was a good scene.
Makes me smile.
I like the part where I skipped a line and was reading Zelpass is in the Lake of the Mist. That just sounded funny to me, but it did not happen. Not yet.
But if it's in the Chronicle, didn't it happen?
You wrote it. It happened.
I mean, if you went to all of the trouble to put it into a book, doesn't that mean that it's true?
Oh, that explains the Bible.
Huh.
I mean, it has to be true, doesn't it?
If it's in a book, it's true?
Legally, yes.
I'm a librarian, so you know, facts.
Does it,
All the
what about
cops.
what about the internet? If it's on the internet, is it true?
You can't lie on the internet, otherwise you have to pay everyone $100.
Only if you print it out in book form.
Right. So like if you were to print the entirety of the internet
We would have
and
no
put it
more
in a
trees.
book,
It'd take a few hours at least, you know.
then the internet would be true.
Yep, that's how that works. Science,
Yeah.
library science.
Incomancy.
That is libraries. And now I know why librarians need master's degrees. Because that's some confusing stuff.
It is some convoluted shit, that is for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we left you there at the ship, the floating lady. You again, have been sort of ordered to, if you want to get into the city, quarantine. Again, this is a little confusing to you, right? Because you thought that when you left New Windermere, you would eventually find your way out of New Windermere, from what you understood was happening, because the Windermere across the way, that's not your Windermere. And it seems as though your island just plopped here. But no, it seems something else has happened, because this is technically your Dewhurst. They do know about you, and have even apparently heard of some of what has been going on. So, doesn't
Wow.
all super add up. Little weird, especially given that Dewhurst is locked down. It's all very weird. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And we know Dewhurst is locked down because of the weirdness in our eye.
They are locked down because the king, Larsonius Pellicinius, has ordered that Dewhurst locked down because outside influence is not safe. Given what they've heard from New Windermere, they're closed off. They don't want anything to do with it. And that is the story that you've heard, at least as of yet.
I did not realize that it wasn't the whole world that changed. So there must be some point, like between Windermere and here, that maybe that transition occurs.
Well, I mean, we flew through that like weird air density, that bubble or whatever, but I thought that was between New Windermere and Windermere.
That was between Windermere and Dewhurst.
Yeah, it was like,
If you look on the map, right where it turns from green to blue.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was wondering what those colors were. This was a session that I missed, so that's why.
that's how many days it took us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Even
from-
with an airship, it's a really long ass way.
From green to blue is when that sensation was felt.
Garen Hill.
Yeah, so by Garen Hill, that's where you felt that sort of rush.
Interesting. Now I'm curious how far like north and south it runs, like if Wintercrest and Whole Cove are the same. That's insane, because if you treat it as a circle, wow.
Well, and I'm wondering, if and when we fly back the other way, if it's gonna have moved or if it's gonna still be the same spot.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
want to keep an eye on that as we return for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. This is our Dewhurst, which is acting a little crazy over what's going on from what they've heard from New Windermere. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's an important thing to point out. Both that sort of weird air density anomaly that you experienced on your way here, and then that this is not the Dewhurst that you expected to go to when you first set out. So
We were expecting the New Windermere Dewhurst.
you were expecting a Dewhurst that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Given what you had gathered, what everyone was saying in town.
Can I do that fun time fucky thing that I do?
Seems like a good time to do it.
That one where you like jump forward and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Everybody else headphones down.
Yes.
I'll mute my.
Mute or whatever. So you're going ahead. What was it?
10
minute?
seconds.
Was it 10 seconds?
Yeah. It's supposed to be 10 seconds, but
It-
depending
right.
on
So it's 10 seconds. And everything seems normal. And when you come back, it's been 10 seconds. Nothing out of the ordinary. Time is normal.
Okay. Hey! Hey!
Back.
Matt! Matt!
Blee! Blee! Blee!
Hi.
All right, well,
That was hilarious.
Internets.
yeah, so Misery disappears. 10 seconds later, she reappears.
God damn it.
What happened? Or what happens?
Nothing. I mean, if I was only gone for 10 seconds, that means I was only gone for 10 seconds.
Wait, can we listen now?
Yes. Nothing happened. I mean, if I was gone for 10 seconds, that means I was gone for 10 seconds, and this spell works like it was supposed to.
Not like 20 minutes like earlier, like last
Right.
time.
No, it time behaves as expected.
As she should.
So we've pulled the boat in, presumably here.
You're docked up. They've brought the supplies to you. They've signed you in, and your clock has begun, and you're free to do whatever you want at this point, except go
Is it
into
evening?
Dewhurst.
Is it like the next day? What's
It is late afternoon, twilight. So the sun is just sort of peeking below the horizon, casting off just the slightest of orange and red. But by now, most of the sky has turned a violet or a deep black, and stars are starting to speckle the sky. It's a beautiful night.
lovely evening?
Is there any sort of activity from any of the other ships that are docked?
There are not that many. There are a couple. There's like one big supply ship, and there is quite a bit of activity going in and out of that one. And there has been since you arrived. Looks, like they are stocking up the city, and then sending shipments out of, you would presume, some sort of ore or something that you can get here. Ash, obviously, is another one that you actually came for. And aside from that, there's just a couple smaller boats. And you don't see a whole lot going on without like going up there and checking things out.
I'm expecting sort of like I guess I was expecting sort of like a little cottage industry of like beer sellers and like just people who set up like ridiculously overpriced stalls like outside of the walls for everybody who's trying to get into the city, but there's like nobody else trying to get in. Is that right?
No, there's you know, the handful of small boats like your own, and then you remember seeing, a few sort of wagons and stuff on the outer walls near the main gate, but no, it doesn't seem like there's a huge influx of people trying to get in the city.
But it's not nobody. It just there's not very many.
No, it's less than normal. Um, but it's not nobody.
Cool.
What's the situation? So we're our ship's at the docks behind Dewhurst on the river there. So
Mhm.
if we look behind, away from the city, we see Mount Grimsby. Does it look like there's like bridges or pathways or anything that leads to the volcano, or is it just like wild expanse?
It is wild expanse.
Okay.
You do see there is a train track that heads into Dewhurst directly.
Hmm.
And it looks like there's some sort of mining operation that transports directly off of that. But aside from that, it doesn't look like there's much infrastructure.
I wonder if we could find a miner who might, because we don't need to get in the city right now. We just need a guide, correct?
Yeah,
I
my
think we
understanding
were
was,
hoping to.
we need the ash, but didn't what's her face need to get inside the city or something like that? So I thought I remember bringing that up last time.
Yeah, so that's the other piece. You have Della and Lockley, and
Oh, that's right.
Della is somehow connected with Iria. It, from what I believe all of you have gathered to this point, whatever imaginary friend Iria has talked about, and whether you think it's an imaginary friend or whether you believe that, she's talking to angels or whatever, I
mean,
don't
we
know.
all physically fucking saw it at
But
this point.
but at this point, you saw what you saw on the boat. Aside from, I don't think Hadrick saw it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's being referred to.
He's a
But you
fucking
saw what
angel.
you saw. So maybe those that saw that have a little more understanding of what Iria is talking about. But whatever that figure is what connects those two. And Della is under the impression that fate and the creator, the all creator, or the both of them, or whatever, brought Iria and her together, heading toward Dewhurst, where they were supposed to be, where Della was supposed to be anyway. So Della is interested in why she was supposed to go to Dewhurst. She didn't really know. She was being brought there by the church and the pontiff.
Like kind of under the cover of darkness, right?
Yes.
Like they didn't tell her anything. They didn't tell anybody where she was going. They just sort of put her on the boat and see you later.
Right. Well, the see you later part was more y'all stealing the boat.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's fair.
She just happened to be on the boat when you stole it. So,
Whoopsie
but yeah,
daisy.
she certainly doesn't know much. She was told she was going to do her job as the voice of the All Creator, or the Vox Elohim, and that job was in Dewhurst. and so she thinks whether that job was righteous or not, she still has a job here. And if I remember correctly, I think Iria was sort of on the same page because of that connection. Now, narratively, we don't have Iria here anymore. So what I think for tonight's purposes we're going to do is they are going to go out on a little walk together to talk and get to know each other and do their thing. So right now you don't have to worry about Della.
Nice. Okay.
Della and Iria are gonna go do their girl bonding time.
Yeah, they're gonna go be divine things together.
Sisters of the
Misery is-
Divine Yaya Sisterhood or whatever.
Misery is pissed.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
wrote
gossip about
Wrote
misery.
the Voxeloa Alumni Association shenanigans.
Oh yeah, Misery is very upset.
Well, I mean, we can't be spending all this time here. We got to get that ash. Like,
So I guess we've got to decide if it's worth, like, do we need to sneak into the city to try and find a guide, or do we want to like go walk around the docks and see if we can find someone who might have experience?
Well, and does the ash need to be refined at all, or can we just gather the raw stuff?
We
there's
don't
that
know.
special stuff. right?
You do know you just need the raw stuff. You need approximately 4 tons of it.
Oh,
That seems like a lot.
so we're gonna need like a wagon or something, or
And
a
a-
mine cart.
And an ox.
Yeah, so like
Well, I mean,
that's why it's not
We
like a
have
trivial thing for you to just like go to the peaks and get a little bit of ash. And that's why Dewhurst is an important place, because you can probably find someone that can get you that amount of ash.
Yeah,
okay.
it's really like an export for them. It seems like.
And going up the mountain, and we're not just going to be able to harvest that in an hour, right?
We probably end up spending more time trying to harvest it than it would take to just get into the town.
To wait the 3
place
days and get into the town.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Like you threw out there, like maybe we see if there's anybody in the dock area first who can, act as a guide for us. And if not, then we have to figure out how we're going to try to get in the city, because we can't wait
Yeah.
here for 3 days.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we needed 4 tons. I thought we needed like a couple of vials.
No,
Yeah,
no.
like a
That's
thimble.
what I was imagining as well. But yeah, we'll probably we'll want to load that onto the floating lady. We're not going to want to pay for 2-day shipping on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have plenty of room for it. And mechanisms by which to load it on. So the logistics part of it, as long as you can secure it, don't worry about the logistics of it.
Perfect.
Cool. Because that was starting to concern me.
So we need to. Well, I mean, I guess evening would be a good time to try and sneak into a city, but any Ash Emporium is probably going to be closed at night.
Well, maybe we kind of do two things at once. We kind of check out the dock area, see if there's anybody we can talk to about getting us in contact with somebody who can, broker the deal. But at the same time, maybe we just keep an eye out for anything that looks like, oh, maybe that could be a point to get through, or,
Yeah.
Well,
kind of
honestly,
observe
you
our
guys,
surroundings as much as possible while we're investigating.
maybe we do some recon, but with 4 tons being the required amount, maybe we wait the 3 days and try and get in the city.
But that's just the thing, is that the folks who employed us to do this, like the council and shit, is expecting us back in like
A day.
yeah.
Yeah, like their timeline is very tight. They're concerned that the time anomaly is expanding, and they want to get
Gotcha.
all of the stuff for those protection beacons back, so that when they can get them operational, they can do it as quickly as possible. So
Yeah.
so there is a little bit of a time crunch. Now, if it takes you 3 days, it takes you 3 days. But
I mean, it took us 4 days to get here.
no, it took you. I think it took you a day.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought those color changes were days.
No,
that it
those
took us to
were
get
those
here.
were different legs of the journey. Like that red part was y'all trying to fly out, and the green is when you stabilized. And then where it changed to blue is where you hit that weird thing, and the angel came out. And then orange, I forget what happened there. But
That's me remembering it wrong.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe that's where Percy dropped his sandwich.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, the floating lady is a very, very fast airship. It transported you very quickly.
Oh yeah. Glad we found it. Found. Found.
Totally found it.
Not wrong.
Yeah, let's talk to some people and look around.
Maybe
Best case
Zelpus
scenario,
is
we
not the
find
best
someone who's
person
broker
to
for it.
talk to people. I'm just saying.
So, like I said, there are a handful of smaller ships like yours, some a little bigger, some a little smaller, and then there's the big cargo ship. So just tell me what you want to do. There's also, obviously, the guard shack. It's not so much a shack, more than like a fortress. It's nothing here is shanty in any sense of the word. Everything is stone. There's very little wood used even on the dock.
In dwarves. Stone cut.
The fellow who checked us in, was that just a guard or was there some sort of concierge or organizer for this?
He was
area?
the leader on duty guard at the time, who's
Okay.
gone off and done a thing. So it's new guards, but no concierge. No, there was a quartermaster that came and took stock of what you needed, and then brought the supplies. Jean-Pierre.
There we go. I mean, I would
Right.
think it might be best served to talk to the people with the cargo ship first. Maybe they do actual trade already with Dewhurst and can give us an idea of somebody who can help us out with our ash needs.
I mean, that seems reasonable considering how much ash we need. That's the ship that can carry the most. So they might have an idea of who can supply ash in the amounts and quantities of tons. Looking over at that big ship, do they have a gangplank down? Are they is it casual? What's the situation?
Yeah, I mean it's you don't see anything guarded, and you hear sort of boisterous laughter as cargo is chucked here and there. So it doesn't seem like they're too uptight over there. You may even hear a shanty or two being sung. it is, after all, lights or sundown now. So, who knows what could be happening on that cargo ship? They are still working though. There is cargo being loaded and unloaded.
Anybody want to go and talk to folks on a cargo ship?
And if you need muscle, I'll come with you. But maybe I don't do talking.
Yeah, who's our best talking person in this case?
I am the most charismatic. Hello.
Then you go along then,
Okay.
because I would just end up probably walking up to the
Okay.
ship and not even being charismatic about it, just cupping around my mouth and going, like, any of you assholes know where I can find 4 tons of ash?
Hatrick, no offense. Maybe you should stay here with Zalpass.
Be the muscle.
I don't know, Hadrick. You would probably know, having spent a good time in Corden. Sailors are oftentimes your people.
They are a rougher group,
They
have their
are,
own fight clubs too. It's good stuff.
at least in your experience, sailors have often been good company.
I'll come along in case they actually are a more typical bunch than I'm used to.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, Misery and Hadrick wants to. Do we want to wait and see if you find the information we're looking for, or should we also look at another ship too?
It was probably not a bad idea, just in case, ask around.
I mean, that's up to y'all.
Is there from the other ships, like we're hoping to find information at this cargo ship because it's so large. I don't know. I don't have any idea if ash is expensive. Maybe it's just hard to transport. I was gonna look for like a ship that was like really fancy or something, or maybe a ship that's just really dirty. What's the dirtiest ship we see?
Like a cool.
Yeah, what's
ship
the
or
one
something.
most covered in a thin film?
Covered in ash.
You don't see any ships in particular that are particularly ashy.
Damn.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Why don't if we're gonna send Misery and Hadrick to do our talking and making friendly with the sailors on that ship, maybe I can send them with some friendly juice here. What can I make? If you're gonna make friends with the sailors, I will send you with 4 gallons of fresh beer. How does that sound?
Oh, we're gonna get some answers. And if they don't know where we can find ash, then we're probably not coming back for a few hours anyway. This will be good.
Are we able to find a way that I can if I were going to use the alchemy jar to produce this beer, do we have containers for it that they can take with
Yeah,
them?
you've got tankards on the floating lady. What kind of ship does not have a keg of grog and tankards?
I would assume the one we're on because it's a religious one.
It's not a religious one though.
Yeah, remember?
Oh, right. They stole it from the boys. Right,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
they didn't steal it. It's sharing or whatever.
We found it.
Whatever dumb shit. they said.
Commandeered.
So what do you think? Do you want Percy and I to go with you? Do you want to try and tackle it yourselves?
I would like some company.
You want anybody else to come? It's already the two of us.
Me to
I
go.
mean,
I can fire strike people. If need be.
yeah. You guys can come along. That's fine.
What?
I don't know. Like, I don't care either way. I just want to do the thing. Like, if you guys want to come, you can come. But if you don't want to, that's
Well,
fine.
you said you wanted a company, so that's why.
I mean, I don't know. It's what, me and Hadrick? That's muscle.
Yeah.
He's muscle. That's fine. I have muscle. That's all I need. He's not a very good company person, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. Beggars can't be choosers.
And we'll be coming with beer.
All right. So I fill up the tankard with the beer, and I ask Patrick to carry that along with him.
Yeah, I'll carry two because I'm going to start working on that one.
Okay.
No, I guess we'll head over to the cargo ship.
All right.
All right. Good
So-
luck.
The docks at Dewhurst are long. Think about like an airport concourse. It goes all the way down across the city. It's not a dock that, you know, stacks many ships deep. So your walk is you know, a good half a kilometer down the dock toward this really just utilitarian looking galleon with 3 masts and just a you know, big bulbous hull that looks like it could fit, you know, a colony's worth of food and supplies. It's probably a ship that is probably too big to be going down a river like this.
Yeah, I was kind of starting to think the same thing.
But they apparently make it they manage to do it, and why don't you, those that walk up to it, make a little check for me called history.
Oh Lord.
Well, I'll have you know, I'm stupid. So
Patrick knows things.
Yeah, despite a -1. I'm like, you know what? There's something about this ship or something that's sticking in my mind.
oh, please.
Hey.
Oh, Misery knows too.
We're gonna
Yeah.
do that thing where somebody wants to try to sound smart, and I'll be like, "Did you know?" Blah 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 blah. And Misery will be like, "Yeah, did you know?" Blah 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 blah. I did, and we'll just be like, fucking doing that shit back and forth.
Ah, so it's like living with
why
us.
why don't you play that out? I'm gonna give you just a little bit to work on or work with about what maybe sparks your memory, but then just give me that interaction of like, well, did you know this about this? So as you walk up, you see the name of the ship, and Rick, what's the name of the ship?
The floating lady, or the Jake
No.
Lily.
No, the big ship, the
Cargo ship that we're
Oh,
cargo
the big ship.
yeah,
The Donnager.
the Donnager. Okay, so it's the Donnager, and the Donnager. As soon as you see that name and realize how big this ship is, you realize it's the Donnager, and it's famous in Auchendale for having been built just after Igniltus' reign, and was like the most impressive engineering feat aside from the Jade Lily in shipbuilding history.
This is the coolest
Just
cargo ship ever.
because of its ability to maneuver in waters that are much, much too small for a ship its size. It was one of the first ships that utilized Esper in a way to enhance its abilities. So,
Well, I mean, I would definitely turn to Misery then and basically say something along the lines of, did you know that this ship was actually named after a dwarven bar wench named Donna, who was so skillful at moving around the bar with all of her tankards that she never spilled a drop, never lost a cup, despite packed hordes around her? That's why the ship is so sturdy and stout, like a strong dwarven woman.
I did know that. Did you know that this is the second most famous airship other than the Jade Lily?
it's not an airship.
Not an airship. Ah, did you know this is the second most famous ship since the Jade, other than the Jade Lily?
Wow. So you just stole one of Mike's things. So you're going to have to do more when I throw this back at you.
I'm not doing
Um,
great. I didn't want to be here tonight.
Well, yeah, you're feeling all bloody. That's the right word. There it is.
Sorry.
Did you know that the reason it can navigate the canals and everything so well, and why it's only second to none to the Jade Lily, is because while it is not an airship, it takes advantage of technology that makes the ship's weight less, making it more buoyant, so it can go through more narrow streams despite being several times heavier than other cargo ships. Hey, like them apples.
I'm sorry.
Not an airship, but it is some technology light in the load.
You're
That's wonderful.
I'll take that.
Did you
Hadrick
know?
Hadrick impresses. Yeah. And so as you're walking up and spouting this off, one of the sailors is walking up to you as you say this, and it's another dwarf, and he says, "You're damn right. She's a stout old lady, isn't she?" He pats the hole. "You can fit so many suitcases in this."
There it is. That got him.
Got him.
I still have that meme on my phone.
It's delightful.
You could fit so many suitcases in this. Oh, I love it.
I look
That's
over
quite impressive that you know those facts about our old Donnager.
I look over at Hadrick and I'm like, what the fuck is a suitcase?
I mean, I'll take a moment, make some hand kind of things, and I'm like, it's a small luggage container for when you're transporting goods from one place to another, and you want to look like you're rich, basically. The rest of us use a nice burlap sack. These rich fucks, suitcase.
Bag of holding is what I hear all of the hipsters are doing.
Oh God, those hyper rich people, yeah.
What I wouldn't give for a bag of holding.
Those motherfuckers. Sorry, I'm not there.
You've got that really good, hearing. And just like we just hear that really low in the background somewhere. Those rich
Yeah, that
fuckers.
famous centaur hearing.
Yeah. Famous.
Yeah.
Minotaur, not centaur.
Or
No,
yes,
now picturing you as a centaur.
Is it true that this ship has like a secret party room? That's what I heard all throughout school.
one secret party room?
laughing
Oh,
with
you
it
don't
because
know
I
the
know.
Donnager until you've been on all 5 party rooms. One of them is the bathroom, because, well, if you're gonna have to take a shit or puke up all of the grog, you might as well be having a party while you do it. The other is, of course, the galley, because if you're going to be cooking the food that you're going to be eating while you are partying, you might as well be partying. So, in fact, there are 3 actual party rooms.
Like specifically just party rooms.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You can continue to impress me with your knowledge. Continue.
Got another fact lined up, Parker?
No, that was my fact.
That was your fact. Your fact was a question about I heard there's party rooms.
Yeah, you have to be sly about party rooms. Do you not know anything?
Sure, for sure.
I am a
Let's see.
teenager.
I gotta think of a new fact.
So, are you the new crew? I heard we were getting some supplementary crew. Jeff and George are taking some PTO.
I just look at you, Parker, as you and I, because Hadrick will just answer and be like, no, he has no reason to want to lie to a bunch of drunks, and he's got beers in his hands. So if
I agree
Misery is
with
going to
that.
try to do anything, then she's going to want to cut me off.
No, I don't
Okay,
think
good.
she would.
Well, I'm like, no, we're not new employees to you, though. To work on the Donnager would be a dream for any seaman at all. We thought we'd join you, and I kind of like hold up the tankards, like, and ask you a little bit about your your work and your journeys. What this old gal has been out there doing. Hoping to get a little chummy with him.
He strokes his beard and he says, You do look like you would be a nice, thick seaman.
I considered being a thick seaman for a while, but I ended up being more into fisting, like more of a fister when it comes down to it.
Fighter.
These girls right here.
Fighter. Fighter is the word you're looking for.
Oh,
Oh,
fighter.
Hadrick
Sorry,
likes
I've
to
already
bang.
had a little bit. Fighter, not fister. I don't.
No.
fist. I use.
I got it.
fist, but-
Fisticuffs, yes.
Yes. Fisticuffs. There we go.
Mhm.
But no, I'm not a fat, large, just squishy seaman.
Well,
Misery is dying. Misery is literally trying to drink from the barrels, the beer that we have. Misery is trying to actively drink from that.
One of the party rooms is known for you go in there and you get to crowd surf over everybody. And then if you fall down the crowd, though, you end up covered in semen. It's kind of hard to get back up.
look, I've got a ship full of seamen that is ready to get drunk.
Let's get crazy with the semen. Come on, Misery.
So why don't you bring that
Seaman
grog
party.
with me into this ship and get drinking?
I've already started, and I start walking along with him. No problem. Easiest decision Hadrick's ever made.
Misery whips Hadrick in the back with her tail.
That's for party room 3, young lady.
Huh?
Oh, you don't know the history of party room 3? Let me tell you. And I start going.
That's fucking
wanna get drunk.
incredible.
I feel like I've now decided that somewhere secretly Hadrick has like the person who's an anime weeb but wants nobody to know, so they have figures on one shelf hidden and not letting anybody really see that they're a complete fucking weeb. That's me with the Donnager. I've got a 1/42 to scale version back at
Dip in a
home.
bottle.
Oh, it's in a bottle. Yup. I know more than I even let on. I know how many nails were used to construct this ship, kind of a thing.
In your spare time, you draw blueprints of the ship.
Oh, I just stare at my Donnager in a bottle and just. I tell people I'm out beating people and breaking noses, but I'm just looking at the beauty of that ship, man. Oh, from bow to stern. Oof, that is a stout, sexy lady.
Anyhow, yeah, you get invited onto the Donnager by this very friendly uh, uh, dwarf seaman.
Is it friendly though? Dwarf seaman?
Very friendly.
I fucking hate it here.
Not at all salty. Like, not at all salty.
Yeah.
Because dwarves like to bang.
I'm
Well,
gonna
you don't-
start
you
my
don't want salty
laundry.
semen. That's why you gotta, get them all crazy and inhibitions go down and boom.
Yeah.
Men
I'm gonna
everywhere.
start my laundry.
How dare you?
How
Well,
dare,
you guys are talking about semen.
how dare they?
It's relevant to the
Yeah.
story.
Trying to educate you. Gonna educate you about the Donnager and the long history of their plentiful semen.
I mean, you can keep yelling at me. I hear you.
Actively ignoring your dumbass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyhow, you've been invited onto the Donnager by this very friendly dwarf. It looks like they're wrapping their workday up. And according to him, it seems to be what is happening. So he's motioning for you to follow him aboard. He's going up onto the deck, so he's taking the ramp upward instead of the cargo hold.
Nice. I mean, I'd be curious if we're just kind of walking and kind of an opportunity to ask and stuff. Just some casual opening stuff. Then basically, like, so what brings the Donnager in today? Are you guys picking up or dropping off? The hold looks pretty empty or full based on whatever I saw.
Yeah. Well, we hit Dewhurst. Well, every trip, it's sort of the end of the road and also the beginning. It's quite poetic, Dewhurst is. We unload from all across. We unload seamen from all across Auchendale, and then we just fill back up with so much Dewhurst seamen.
You get new seamen sometimes here in Dewhurst. Old seamen leave, new seamen join because Donnager, they want to be inside her. Yeah,
Right. That's right.
Makes
So,
sense.
yes, right now, we've unloaded most of our load, and we're just filling back up.
Oh yeah, your load's all over the dock. That's right. We walked right by it.
That's right. Scattered about. A bit messy this time. I apologize.
Everybody wanted to get to the end of the day. I get it.
But yes, export out of Dewhurst has been a bit slow as of late. They've shut things down, as you can tell. So, our cargo coming in is due to come in tomorrow, and then we'll be setting off.
Are you transporting some of that outstanding ash from the mountain? Grisby?
Of course, it's a 90% of what we take out of Dewhurst.
There's a part of me that just wants to literally just explain our situation and see if they have any contact, but I'm not sure if that's too forward. I guess I'd say as earlier misery. I don't know if you would cut me off or anything, but you can tell I'm kind of looking at. I look at you. I give a little shrug and eyebrow, like I'm just gonna fucking tell him. So
I agree with you because you're being so chummy with them that I don't see anything wrong with it.
Oh, that works. Cool. Plus, I'm terrible at lying. So, I mean,
Which is weird. I would not expect that from Hadrick. I would expect him to be a very, very phenomenal liar.
I'm good with intimidation, but yeah, can't lie apparently to save my life.
Can I add? Can I like assist him? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
This is the conversation goes, right?
So how do you propose you assist him? Just through talking?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say if a roll comes down to it, you can either have one of you roll with advantage, or each one of you can roll and essentially take the better of your rolls.
Got
Nice.
it.
Okay. Well, I mean, just to get into it at that point, I imagine I'm just gonna kind of stop walking in a way that kind of gets him to stop and kind of face each other just to have a straightforward conversation rather than continuing to walk. I'm gonna basically say we are absolutely here to enjoy the company of your seamen and just get all up inside the Donnager anywhere we can. Seamen everywhere. Get it, got it, love it. Right, Parker? Yeah. But I have to be honest with you because you're a great example of a seaman right here. We're also hoping that maybe you can help us because we're actually here trying to export some of that ash, and due to those restrictions you've mentioned, everything going on here in the dock and in Dewhurst, we're having a hell of a time, and it's going to take us days when we need to get back to New Windermere as soon as possible. Hell, yesterday if we could somehow do it. Any chance you could help us out with this? Like between anybody that or it would be a great help. Regardless, I'm leaving these though. This is not a bribe, and I take a little sip out of one, and maybe not this one.
So he continues walking for a couple steps before he realizes that you stopped, and
Yeah, that old classic move. Look back. What?
he stops and turns and kind of saunters back. He clearly looks a little impatient. He like didn't want to be interrupted on his way into be with all of the seamen down below.
Well, yeah.
But as you're talking, he kind of nods and grabs the other tankard from you, slams half of it down, says, like you, or a straight shooter.
You don't call him straight shooting Hadrick for nothing.
It's always good to have seamen that shoot straight.
Yep. Same with when I'm fisting.
Fighting.
Straight shots. Fighting. Thank you, Misery.
Misery takes a big old swig.
So I'll level with you myself. I'm just another drop in the old seaman bucket, as we like to say.
Seaman bucket. Haven't heard that phrase in a while.
Yeah. I don't make decisions about our cargo, but I can get you in talks with captain, the captain, head seaman.
The head seaman. So this guy's just like ball seaman. He's down. Okay. Yes.
This is being recorded for Maggie, you
That's
absolute
right.
mongrels.
Well,
Well, that's why.
yeah.
That's why we've done this, because it has to be like she's here.
Yeah.
Maggie, as you're watching this, I
Oh,
want
fuck.
you to know that I had absolutely nothing to do with this.
You
and
didn't
that
stop it though.
I didn't stop it, and that was probably my fault.
In
But
fact,
I
you
respect you
also
and I value you as a person.
helped a little bit. You
How?
exacerbated a little bit.
What? Didn't mean to.
All right.
You've done this.
Unless Misery has something to throw in there. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. Like, let's go have a great time. Thank you for, like, hearing me out. And yeah, if at some point while we're down with all the seamen just getting just fucking drunk, you want to introduce me to your captain, it would be wonderful. You'd be doing this old dwarven seaman, real helping hand.
Well, listen, I'd love to fill you up with as much head semen as possible. Right, but I don't quite have that reach myself. I can put word in up the chain, have it come through, and I guarantee you in the next a couple hours, old Captain will be on his way over to your ship. In the meantime, if you'd like to hang out and drink with us, you're more than welcome.
I love this. Misery, do you have anything to add? Because otherwise, I'm totally down with that. Let's party, and we'll meet with your... I mean, I guess one of us should go back to the ship and say, hey, a likely dwarven captain or something like that will be coming to the ship in a few hours in case we're still at the party. But,
Goes.
oh, shit. I turn, I see Misery pulling that, and I'm like, I didn't grow up with that bullshit. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I turn back to this guy and I'm like, I have to go back to our ship to let them know to expect your captain, but you better believe I'm coming back here to continue.
Oh, do you want me to send a messenger pigeon over and have your friends invited?
Done.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. This is all getting too
Done.
good to be true. Going to be locked in a dungeon and filled with
It's
semen.
fine.
Done and done. And so he saunters off and heads over to you see, like, it's a stack of 8 pigeon cages, and there's a couple missing, but there's still several pigeons, and he goes and writes a quick message, ties it to the bird, and shouts over, "Which one's yours?"
I kind of look at Misery as I'm standing there, just kind of little sway to me, kind of like I've never really looked at the ship that long. It just does the thing and gets us to the place.
I mean, I would know which one it is, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you probably paid more attention to things like sail color or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can say the floating lady, and
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the floating lady.
Yeah,
That's
the floating wench.
No,
Lady?
the floating
Lady.
the floating wench is the one before us. We're the floating lady.
Ah, yes.
it looks like a fine ship you sailed in.
Thank you. It was pretty decent. Pretty good.
And the pigeon flies off, and not 20-30 seconds later, back at the floating lady, Gamzee, a pigeon flies onto the ship and perches right near you, and then does a pigeon noise, whatever that is. Right?
Like that.
Yeah, a little coo.
Oh, hello, little friend. What are you doing here?
And it just sort of kicks its little leg that has a note attached to it.
All right. Yeah, I will. Oh, I will see if it allows me to take the note.
Yeah, so let's take the note. It's just a little piece of parchment rolled up, and it says, party in the Donnager, party room 2
Ooh, 2 is a good one.
at 10th chime. Party room 3 at the first quiet chime. So, yeah,
Don't
they
get
they tell you where to go.
Wait, did the note mention anything about the captain coming to the ship in a few hours?
No.
Yeah.
We're leaving that one to Maggie.
Hey, oh yeah, there we go. Maggie's there to greet Captain, Captain and Captain. Captain, my
This
captain.
is okay. So I need you guys to know where I'm coming from. Misery is pissed. But this is also her first time in however long that she doesn't have her sister that she has to watch. So she's getting royally fucked up.
And you're with
Nice.
while looking all teenage, you're with an adult who does not give 2 shits about what you do. So it's just party. Let's hang out with, bring this teenage girl. Woo! Yeah, like that. Problematic.
Let us introduce this teenage girl to a bunch of seamen.
Yep.
Like an
Reminds me of
absurd,
high school.
an absurd amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
All kinds, too.
Yeah, this is not a dwarven only crew, that's for sure.
No,
See
there's
the races
thick
here.
seamen, there's stringy seamen.
Yep.
Tapioca semen.
There's Siemens of all types, sizes, colors,
Yeah,
it's-
I mean, there's some darker seamen,
Yeah.
there's lighter seamen.
very light, yeah. Almost like a milky, like it's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Enough!
What? Did that get 2 on the nose? Were we circling the drain and I just went
I was
down it?
disassociating. Enough.
Yes.
Oh man, okay. So
Party.
Oh, a
so
party,
who yeah,
party
are-
on the
are
on a
you-
Donnager. I've heard
Well,
that
you've
that
heard
is
of the
viewed by some
Donnager as an
fine seamen.
engineering guy. There it is.
I never thought I'd get a chance to go. Percy, Zelpass, do we need to draw straws to see who's going to stay with the ship?
I'll stay with the ship.
Everyone go. We're leaving it to Maggie. It's fine. Or someone stay sober. Who's
yeah,
DD?
and just as like as Gamzee asks this question, Iria and Della quietly walk onto the ship and then go into the room down below, lock the door, and continue their conversation. So Iria is with the ship.
Oh, I'm glad.
Perfect.
Glad Misery didn't see that.
I'll be the BBC at the party. The big black cat.
All right.
Nice.
Awful.
Off. Did you say awful?
You're
Well,
I mean, every
Yeah, I'm the
seaman
BBC.
party needs a BBC.
Yeah, I'm the BBC seaman.
Maggie, I miss you.
That means Zelpass is going to be a MILF. And you know exactly what that stands for. It's the same thing with only one word changed. From Minotaur. Yeah, Zelpass is probably hooking up at this party.
Yeah.
Zelpass is gonna fuck.
His spiral dong is going crazy.
Wait, why does he have a spiral dong?
We looked it up, remember?
I thought we established canon that I was Donald Duck in it.
So-
Right, but that doesn't mean that you have canonically a duck penis.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is the perfect time to ask.
I mean, we've all
Well
been
done.
around Zelpass enough. We all know at this point.
I've slept next to him. I know. I've long
I mean,
rested.
I'm
next
sure
to
during
him.
battle when he's running about raging,
No, but in the morning it's tough to keep under control.
Yeah. Because bladder can only take so much.
All right. Well,
Glorious.
now I'm wrangling wrangling everybody since Erie is here to watch the ship. To the party.
I mean, I'm not sure Erie is going to be doing much watching of anything. She just went behind a locked, closed door with Della.
I think the ship is. I'm confident the ship is secure in her hands. Zalpas, you can't ignore an invitation to party on the Donnager. This
Della-
might never be
Della-
open again.
Della shouts out, "We're only closing the door because we don't want you to hear what we're talking about. If you want to leave, we'll watch the ship, I promise."
Come,
If
come,
the
come, come,
floating
come.
lady
Come
is
along,
a
gentlemen.
rockin', don't come and knock it.
Let's go.
So Gamzee's
We're not
just
having sexual intercourse.
One of
Gamzee-
them is still religious.
smaller than both Percy and Zelpass, but trying to come. We gotta go to the Donnager.
I don't know why Della felt the need to tell us that they weren't going to fuck, but now Erie is disappointed.
Yes.
I am walking excitedly with Gamzee.
Oh my god,
I
is
mean-
Percy gonna fuck too?
Percy's got a swagger in his step. Rolling up, he's like, all right, I got to impress the Donnager seamen and sea women.
Percy apparently is now bisexual.
My tail is like up at this point. I have that confidence.
Hey, there's
Confidence
nothing
cattail.
wrong, gay or straight, and whatever. Walking in a room and want the other men to want to be you, even if you want the ladies to want to be with you. So he wants the sea men to be like, damn. And the sea women to be like, damn. Different dams.
Gotta keep all that water back somehow.
I'm down for whatever.
Seaman
as long
knows
as they're
no
good.
gender. In my mind, Seaman
There we
knows
go.
no gender.
That's true. Semen is beyond gender.
I believe the technical term is called ejaculation. Anyway,
Nope, semen.
hate it here.
And yet,
This place has changed.
I used to like being here. Now I hate it here.
Hate it here when 90% of this session is semen related.
I mean, we are on a boat.
You know damn fucking well that's not what I'm talking about, Rick.
That's fair.
And we're talking about, boating terms.
Yeah, I'm still lost as to why anyone is upset.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You,
But the party is a raging on the Donnager.
Let's fucking go!
There's a really cool sort of rhythmic tribal beat going from what looks like a drum circle. There's just 5 or 6 different folks slapping on drums, and people are dancing. It's a
Is this like the
big-
Zion Matrix thing going on or something, basically?
It's the
it-
drum and bass room.
It is the drum and bass room,
Oh.
and it does have that feeling a little bit of the Matrix scene, where they're all dancing. Not nearly that massive, but this is a big room for a ship, and it's a big room for a cargo ship to not have cargo in. This room that you're in, it looks like a cargo bay, so it is absolutely
shit.
ginormous.
That's awesome.
And so it looks like most of the crew is here, and it's several levels. So there's a few levels where people are,
Like a
and
fucking
everyone's
nightclub.
just having a good time. And
And Zelpass joins in.
Zelpes joins in and really starts to rock the place. And when
my shofar.
Zelpes does that, everyone just "Rah!" and like grog in the air. It like starts raining because everyone spills their.
What's the name of that of the type of music with like the like big pause and then the drop?
Is the drop? Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
the
you got some dubstep going.
there it is.
Womp, 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 womp.
This is Michael's dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so
both
hard
Michaels,
to talk
actually.
in here. People are
Mhm.
shouting at each other just like a club. What?
And
That
then
Minotaur's fucking awesome.
I'm gonna go over to the drum circle and see if I can like get in the drum circle, because I'm sure that Zelpus is a very good dancer, but Rick is not, and so I'm nervous.
So-
Even in pretend.
So, Zelbeth, growing up, were you nomadic?
Yes.
Did you stay entirely with minotaurs?
Mostly. There were a few people in the group that were, dwarves or elves, no humans. But there were there were people who came and went, with us for stretches, but in general it was mostly, bugbears and minotaurs and dwarves.
Bears like to fucking party.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is
Do you like the party?
there is a bugbear up there that has a big djembe. And djembe is African drum. It's
Is it
usually
the one
like
with the beads on the outside.
yeah, it sometimes has beads on the outside. It's generally 10 to 14 inches, and then it looks like an hourglass.
The one that they can shake and beat at the same time.
Djembe is generally just hitting.
Okay. The beads on the outside were like that also
You
were
can't you
there
can
for
do that
rhythmic.
with them
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
But that's a different thing. That's called something else.
I don't know what that specific part is, but yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway,
this
I
is
got
this
it.
is just the drum, and it's that real African tribal sounding, and he's jamming out, and you come up, and he sees you come up, and he points at your horn, and then motions to the drum, and kind of does the tradesies.
I don't know, man. This is like, all right, I'm gonna roll percentile. High, I give it to him. Low, 50-50. High, I give it to him. Low, I don't.
Okay.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, I give it to him. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
So
but I
he
give it
points
to him.
at it, and like before he touches it, he stops for a second and regards it, and he stops and he looks at you and mouths, "Are you sure?"
Do you know what this is?
He shakes his head. He doesn't know what it is, but he says, it's the nicest one I've ever seen."
This is the left horn of my great grandfather, who died in glorious battle, and it takes lungs, the lungs of a true warrior to properly
Say it.
Bring
Properly
fo-
blow it.
bring forth the joyous music of my shofar.
Yeah, blow it.
Blow it. Say to properly blow it.
I did not say that.
No. I'm telling you to say
The
it.
blowing it with
Okay.
extra steps.
Blow it for the semen. Blow it for the semen.
Yeah, to blow it.
And
Yeah, to blow it.
and so he grabs it very reverently and bows as he takes it, and he says, "This is Kadumba. It is the tree that was grown from my grandfather's grave, carved into my djembe. Play it with your soul.
I mean,
And party!
And party.
everything I can to, yeah, to do it proud.
So, yeah, why don't you give another performance?
Should I just
Check
do the
here.
shofar again? Because I'm proficient with the instrument, but I'm not trained in performance.
It's easy, Zelpus. Just beat it.
I was gonna go there, but I stopped myself.
This is one of them their After Dark episodes.
I mean, it is after dark now, you know?
I was edging on it.
There it is. Now you just have to slip in as many of these things as possible. I don't want to be that anal about it, you know?
Ugh. Gag.
Now you're just getting sloppy.
That was so much better because it was one word that out of the context here, totally fine. But because of the situation, so good. So good.
So, I wouldn't say shofar because it's a different instrument. So I would just go with performance.
All right, here comes performance.
All
You
right.
beat a drum.
I mean, it
I
doesn't surprise
I
me
will
that-
let you roll with advantage though because of that interaction. It was a cool interaction.
Oh, that's true.
There
There
we
it
go.
is.
There it
Oh,
is.
the
So,
spirit of the father comes into that drum.
so I stutter a little bit at first. It's been a long time since I've had to play the drum when other people were around,
Since you beat it.
right? Playing the drum is normally, at least in my tribe, a solitary endeavor.
Yeah, it is.
God damn it.
So it's been a long time since I've been in the circle.
Oh no!
Rick is that was so slick. Like, oh man, that was. And everything had an intonation to it of like feeling guilt and pleasure. Rick, that was masterful.
I had to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like you literally had me at a point thinking that you didn't know what you were doing. It was
I
that
knew.
good of a sell.
I
I
knew.
knew, yes. But at one point, I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, did he just? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh,
But anyway, the spirits of my ancestors come to me and show me how to weigh. They guide me in joining the rhythm of the circle.
Gross. That's your family.
Yeah, and so like
this is the Bugbear's family.
just as you start to beat his, he starts to blow yours. And
Damn.
it's an awkward
Making
moment.
Spell subtle.
Making beautiful music together. Oh,
It's an awkward moment at first
Loud.
because you're in front of all of the seamen.
Percy interjects. This is hot.
But then
We just really
You
start
come
to find a
together.
rhythm.
oh, and the semen explode. Just
and
Everywhere.
the semen just explodes in the room.
oh man.
It's like the
Sorry,
actual...
the steam. No, sorry, my. The semen explode in the room. The
I was
semen
gonna-
explode into dance in the room. Sorry.
Yeah.
The semen in the room explode into dance.
Donnager is filled to the brim with just the energy of semen. It's
I'm
amazing.
sorry, I'm laughing now because I know Maggie has skipped ahead several minutes. It doesn't matter.
She can't escape it.
It
But-
dead ass has been the last 30 to 45 minutes of nothing but semen talk.
And yet we're
Longer than
progressing
that.
the
I'm
story.
sorry.
We're progressing the story
It just
nonetheless.
keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Chris.
It's
That
getting
was
harder.
good.
Y'all, it's getting harder and harder for me to deal with this, okay?
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Oh, ooh. Yeah. You imagine the
Were we
smell.
talking
in
about
this
milkshakes
sparkle hole
earlier?
right now? Whew.
It's probably really musky with all this semen here.
Oh man.
Smells like bleach and
Anyway, so it's really I think what I was getting at earlier is you
really
after
getting after it.
a very very long departure from the point. You played with a bugbear back in your younger days that came traveling through your tribe, and it reminds you of that. That feeling of like strangers meeting in the night and sharing this like really just
Intimate experience.
raw intimate experience that can't really be described in words, and like it radiates out across the crowd, you can tell. And like if you've ever been in one of those crowds where everyone is vibing, it is just that moment and everyone's like super chill and like all happy and stuff. And so the song continues, and the scene sort of fades out, and we fade back into you as a group sitting at a table with the original dwarf that invited you on to the ship, the bugbear, and a couple other different sailors joining here and there, as like everyone's sort of settling down from the excitement of the party. You're just kind of visiting now.
Everybody feels spent.
Yeah, we're done getting hammered, and now we're just drinking some warm hard cider.
Right.
The real
Oh.
fucking tame shit.
Talking to Mr. I'm just like, and
It's
pointing
only
at
like
himself,
12% alcohol. This
he
shit's-
wasn't gonna come.
Misery is just going fucking ham.
Like drinking.
I pull out. I spent during the court, like at the climax of the music.
Mhm.
The tune really stuck in my head, so I'm gonna use my tinkering and make a music box which plays that song.
Oh, nice.
Now all you've done is assign Mike Parker the task of now you got to make the song, Mike.
Now I've got to make the song.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Not even a little bit.
With a build up to a crescendo, and it just bass drops, and then you guys trade your weapons, trade your instruments,
No,
and
weapons
somehow
is
changes the
accurate.
stage. Yeah, that's true. The weapons.
I mean, they're auditory weapons. You have
Yeah.
to find a way to
I
put
like
like a real like deep bellowing horn, like a battle cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
battle horn.
Yeah.
War horn.
I really like the fact too, in just a dorky kind of way, that you each traded something that was so meaningful to the other. Because I was worried you were just gonna end up with he's just gonna be like, I got mine at the dollar store, but if you're sure, bro, like
Have you
like,
met
you
Mike
ended up
Parker?
with a really good one.
Nobody
Like,
plays dollar store instruments at the rave at his D&D game.
plus you don't come on the Donnager with a dollar store, drum, but I love that
Not
the
if you
idea
wanna
that
play the
each of
A
you have a
stage, buddy.
family member who's now going like, the spirit of them in that object will now be going on very different journeys. It's kind of this poetic kind of beautiful thing. It's real good.
Well, in the music box, and at least in my head, is not your typical music box. It's not like tink, 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 tink. It's like reenacting a recording or some sort of analog of the actual music. It's not just like ting 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 ting.
Oh, so it's
ting,
more
ting,
like
ting,
almost
ting.
like pressing a record kind of a thing is what you're picturing. It's like it's a full force audio
Experience.
duplication of the
Yeah.
experience,
I would
not
think
a
so.
little music box. Ting ting ting.
I mean, it's not, it doesn't have a little ballerina spinning around on it.
I envisioned it as like a little mini gramophone type thing.
Cool.
It's maybe
love
not
that.
like the super highest fidelity, but it's got like maybe a little horn that comes off, and it like you hear drums and you hear the horn. Maybe not like big bellowy bass or anything, but
Yeah. I love that.
I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick.
Cool.
I'm gonna go pee.
I'm also
sounds
gonna
good.
do that.
Might as well. Parker.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Mm,
Feeling any better? Have you had a little smoky or anything?
I've been smoking shop all day, but it's not like that really helps my mental health.
Do you want I've got like sativa and indica. You could have like a half of one or something. That might
No.
help you chill.
No, it's like it's chilled me out, but it's just like I'm not as fucking angry as I was earlier, but also like my emotions are so fucking extreme right now that like no. Oh, look at that chunky baby.
Right? Well, oh, you're such a good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Wait. Wait. Get out of here. Making me think it's 9 o'clock with all your shenanigans. I have a meeting at 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh.
I hate morning meetings. Who does that on a Friday?
Monsters, GoDaddy monsters.
Yeah, it's because it has to be early because it's with people at our international sites who are like 10 hours ahead, but that's not an excuse.
Why don't you make them stay late?
Yeah, it'd be excessively late because 7 a.m. our time for I think some of the ones who are in like Bulgaria. I want to say it's like I don't know 7 p.m. or something like that. I don't know if they're 12, maybe like 5 p.m. Basically, it's past the workday at that point, so it's like, oh, come on.
Annoying.
I know. Stupid
We're
international
15. Oh,
companies.
sorry, Les. Sorry.
What did you do?
I stepped on her tail.
That seems like a real dick move.
Good job, Michael, idiot.
I'm sorry, Les.
Laz is never gonna forget.
She will. She's dumb.
She already forgot.
She is not dumb.
She's cute, but she dumb.
She's
Just
moved
like-
my scale out of my bathroom because she figured out that she can like move it. So like she
Okay.
throws things underneath the scale and then just like moves it around the house.
Love
Right,
her.
Les? Hey, I'm sorry. I love you. Don't forget me. I'm guessing you all heard her little like.
Yeah.
Uh,
We heard your betrayal.
it was an accident.
Accidentally on purpose, maybe.
No,
Fucking likely story.
that is what an asshole would say.
Well, okie dokie. You are sitting at the table. You all have drinks and snackies.
Mackies? Oh boy.
And yeah, the dwarven sailor that invited you onto the Donnager kicks back and says, "Well, sure, I'm glad that I invited you aboard. You are very fun people to be around."
The
That was
feeling is
everything I had heard about the Donnager parties.
Oh, this
very-
is just the beginning. We've got a long night of partying ahead of us. As the invitation mentions, we're moving on to a different party room here in the next few minutes. And that one's a lock-in. If you go in, you're in for the night. One of the famous Donnager lock-ins. Have you ever heard of one of those?
And I've heard it's also, I don't know if it's this one or the next one, that sometimes you'll do like one of those escape room kind of things where you have to like, you're partying, but then you have to find out how to actually leave the room. Like it's
I've
a
been known
maze
to do
almost.
that, yes.
Awesome.
Not tonight, though. Just a simple lock-in. Get as drunk as humanly possible, or dwarvenly possible, or whateverly you are possible.
You looking at me?
my
No,
comrade
not you. Pointing at Misery.
It's very important to hit the other party room, the bathroom, before the lock-in. I do remember that because, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did my comrades ask if we could find some ash?
Right. Yes, I did send note to the captain. And it, in fact, you know what? He whispers someone over his shoulder and comes back and whispers back a couple seconds later. Says, "Head Seaman will be right over. You've been wonderful. You've been wonderful. That song was... What do you call that song, after all? The one where you beat his...
Ancestral
and
recall.
He blew yours.
Roll recall. Damn.
What'd you say, Ancestral
Donnager?
Recall? Well, the Donnager will speak many, many stories, glorious stories of ancestral recall. That night that a Minotaur beat the drum of a bugbear who blew the horn of the same Minotaur beating the bugbear's drum.
Truly magical. I wipe a little tear from my eye as I continue to drink. It's magical. Magical.
And as you sort of sit there in this awkward silence after he sits there and he stares off into the distance as he says this,
I'm
like he
staring
said something
off
so
too.
profound. He just sits there, and then from out of nowhere you hear this voice, and you're looking around and you don't see anything, but you hear a voice says, "You called for me." Jingo,
Are-
you called? Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, Captain. And he reaches down and
Parker.
and he brings up this little like gecko looking dude. Like a
That's the head seaman.
a bipedal little lizard in like full pirate regalia. And Jingo, the sailor, holds him up. Says, "I heard you wanted to see me."
Yes. Are you the master of Ash?
Well, no, I'm the captain of the Donnager.
You're the captain of the Donnager?
Well, of course, yes, I am the captain of the Donnager. Captain, kangaroo.
Captain King. Really? Are you sure?
His name is Ru Kanga. Captain Kanga to you.
Jesus Christ.
Do you want his name to be Seaman? Because that's what you're asking for.
Yeah, no, no. He says,
Well, he's the face of the seaman.
I am Captain Head Seaman.
Oh shit.
We
Oh,
we are here. We wanted to talk to you. Because we're on a mission. We're on a mission. Is he still on the
Yeah,
thing?
the guy's still holding him up.
I pull the finger and myself close together. I'm like, we're on a mission. One eye open. We're on a mission. We gotta get a lot of ash. A lot of ash.
I just loudly back there with my tankard. 4 tons.
That many? That many? Of ash.
Why so hush hush? Hush hush, little one.
I'm very, very drunk.
Yeah, we do have
And
very strong grog.
And I don't want to yell at you.
Oh, don't worry. I'm on a ship full of seamen.
Right. No, but also I'm very drunk and I just want to make a good impression on you.
You've made a very fine one indeed. Is there someone quite more coherent that I could talk to?
I laugh, gurgle in my grog.
I was gonna say, who's the most sober right now?
Are we gonna roll a constitution off?
I think so.
I mean, I wasn't gonna make anyone roll Constitution, but if you indeed are like going after like getting flat ass drunk, then we can roll Constitution to see who like passes out first.
See, any expert drinker like myself and some of my colleagues here know you got to pace yourself for a Donnager party. Like I know Gamzee knows about the Donnager, so there's no way he's hammered. Like gotta pace yourself. I'm fairly certain he would include Zelpass in if Zelpass
busy
he
blowing
drank that
my
much
horn.
while beating the drum.
Beating the drum, yeah.
So it might just be Misery and Percy who are.
Yeah, how crazy did Percy get?
I would say like drunk, but not like obliterate. I wasn't obliterated. I was tipsy though. We've been adventuring for all.
And no offense to the drunk one, It is a Donnager party after all, but it's just if we're going to be talking business, I suppose we should probably be about our wits.
No, that's totally.
Well, Zelpass, you're probably our most expert about loading and unloading of ships. Would you be willing to coordinate with the captain head seaman?
Don't let fool you. Hadrick knows stuff about ships and stuff. This one in particular, he really likes this one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Would you like to come up to the helm and see the captain's quarters? Maybe
Sounds.
I might have some anchors to give to you. You know, the little anchor to put on your lapel.
Oh,
Alright.
like the
That
little
sounds pretty cool.
wings.
I kind of want an anchor pin from Captain Head Seaman.
Sure. Let's make it happen.
Let's go. If we're going to talk, let's do it in a bit more formal place and have some fine brandy we can share. And, we'll talk about it.
Sure. Let's do it.
Talk business.
So he hops down from Jingo's finger and scurries through the crowd, not really waiting for you,
That tracks.
but so unless you like immediately follow, it's going to be very easy to lose him in the crowd.
I'm probably gonna lose him anyway because he's like this big, right?
He is very tiny. Yeah, he is.
I'll scoop up the music box and then follow. So as long as you can keep up with me.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my
I'm,
fancy
Close
hat.
behind that too.
I'm training on Gamzee. I'm following Gamzee specifically. I'm not trying to follow the guy.
Yeah, cool. So Gamzee, why don't you give me a perception check as you
Uh-oh.
start making your way through the crowd.
I feel like I potentially have misery over my shoulder, and I'm just following my Minotaur
Yeah.
friend.
That 100% tracks.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We have the group reroll.
I'm going to let's see here. It looks like I can use my I can use a charger. I'm gonna like I feel like I've lost him for a moment, but I'm gonna pull my goggles down and turn on the magnification setting to
Oh shit.
try and track down
Nice.
the captain again.
Did you flip them on? Or did you just put them in front of your eyes? Like maybe you didn't flip them on?
Um
It could be.
Damn.
yeah, so Gamzee, you maybe it took just a little bit too long for you to, close up the music box and grab things before you took off in tow. Someone else can now roll to see if they can catch sight, but it will be at
Hadrick.
disadvantage.
I
Can I
feel like
tell-
Hadrick would know where the captain's quarters are. Like if he's like a secret like weeb, I feel like he would know.
That is a distinct possibility.
True.
Um,
Into the captain's quarters, then yeah.
But is Captain Rue actually, or Captain Kanga, actually going to the captain's quarters, or is he going to some place else?
Yeah, did he say he was going to the captain's quarters?
He said he was
Well,
going to
he
his
mentioned
quarters.
he would take you up to the helm and to the captain's quarters. He didn't specify where he was going first.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, if we can't find him, that's probably the best bet. Unless, I mean, technically, I guess, Zelpass, you were next closest following, so it'll still be a disadvantage, but it's probably worth just seeing. Maybe you'll notice where he is.
Yeah. Can I tell that Gamzee lost him?
Yeah, I think that's what this would be like. You would, because you said you were specifically looking at Gamzee, and then like when you see Gamzee put down his goggles and start to look around and not see, that's when you would probably realize.
We're still in a crowd, right?
It's a crowd, yeah.
Would you have a problem with me using my athletics to try and elbow people out of the way gently without causing a fight, but still trying to clear a path?
I would. You're not doing it in an intimidating fashion,
I
right?
am not trying to be intimidating. I
Not
am
trying, just
looking for a drop set of keys.
just forcefully moving people off to the side. I would say athletics then, yeah.
A lot of excuse me, pardon me, sorry, I'm so sorry. I feel like that's Zelpass anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are as polite as you can be, but when it
They're drunken
really
sailors. I
comes
get
down to
it.
you're shoving people out of the way, and maybe not so gentle about it, but it's effective, in that you are able to clear enough of a path out to have clear sight of Captain Head. And
Now I just need to keep my eyes on them.
yeah, and it's also like, I think at this point, now that you've stirred the crowd, people are sort of moving out of your way, and it's much easier to keep up with them, and so everyone sort of follows suit, and you make it out of the cargo hold, and uh, at the base of the stairs, he says, meet me up there. And he points all the way to the top. Fifth floor. See you there. And then he just hops on to the edge like a gecko would do, and then just clambers up the side.
Yep.
Nice.
And so, I mean, it's nothing for you to climb 5 flights of stairs, but he's waiting for you at the top. You make your way through some corridors, and he brings you into the, it looks like, captain's quarters. It's got a little library and a sitting area, little desk, and he sits at the desk, motions for you all to sit down, and he says he's got like a full size desk, and full size, like, big fancy desk chair, captain's chair, and he sits right in the chair, and you can barely see him over the table. Just says, so, it's Ash you're after, huh?
Is
Well, what do you need it for?
well, the council in New Windermere sent us to get it.
Working for the big wigs now. Huh? That's a fancy mission you've got there.
Have you heard about all the weird shit that's been happening?
Yeah, now that I think about it, I do see
Yeah.
you've got with that stigma that all creator people are talking about. I don't believe any of that, but just don't worry. I'm not judging you. If you don't have babies later on, not my problem.
Well,
So,
certainly not necessarily trying to do that right now, being a nomad and an adventurer and all.
To each his own. To each his own. Well, big highfalutin mission from the Council of New Windermere, going through some crazy stuff right now. Yeah, all seems to check out. Yeah, only problem is, yeah, I can't spare 4 tons of ash.
Can you procure some extra?
Oh, like I said, I'm not the master of ash over here. I'm just a ship captain. I'm a cargo ship captain. I don't deal in ash. It just happens to be my most precious cargo at the moment. Now, sometimes things go missing from shipments. It happens. Things fall
does.
off boats. Things get damaged in shipment.
Damaged? That would be unfortunate.
But, that only happens sometimes, and it usually only happens when there's a reason for it to happen.
A financial reason for it to happen?
Sometimes it takes, the old Donnager needs repairs. And, money goes a long way to help with those repairs. Sometimes there's just a hole in the ship, and that's where those crates can fall out. So, yeah, some money would be great to help fix those problems.
Maybe instead of money, you could, we could owe you a favor, or we could offer you some service in exchange for the ash.
You see the favors, they don't spend quite as well as money.
I understand.
And no offense to you. You beat a good drum and you drink a good drink, but you don't have a reputation.
Sometimes favors are worth more than coin. But if that's how you want to roll, then I am perfectly happy to be financially appreciative.
No, I'm
They
not.
hit us with any money? The council? I can't recall.
You do not have like oodles of cash on you. You have enough to put like a good deposit down on the goods, and you have a bill of lading.
You got a letter of credit.
Right.
Nice. Plus, I mean, we're dealing with the council, so like
it's not like we're dealing with shady people. We are above board as far as like they know they're going to get paid.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you don't have the 400,000 gold that the 4 tons of ash is worth. You maybe have 5,000 gold that is sufficient enough as a deposit with the letter of credit.
I'll give you 2,000 now and 15 Numi Chalderon.
1,000 for a hamburger now. I mean, as like Zelpass is talking, I mean, I've got another drink now because he invited us up for brandy, so I've got some brandy now, and I just go, Captain, I'd keep in mind who we're doing this work for, and how, whether it be money or a favor, they're the kind of people that you can definitely count on getting either of those things from. And I just sip my brandy and look off as if just to be like, just keep in mind, we're talking about the council here, so maybe you don't want a favor from us, but the council probably.
That's a fair point, Adric. I think that's a fair point, but also you have to also understand. In my time, I've met many bullshitters in my time, and who am I to believe that you truly are working for the council? That seems like quite the high station for, my apologies, but a ragtag group such as yourself. If the council was involved, don't you think it would probably be a bit more grandiose of an operation? I'm not calling you liars, I'm just saying these are the types of things that people in my station often have to think about. And so, if I have to think about that, I have to also think about the worth of your favor. You have to understand. This is a thing that someone in my position may have to think about.
Hadrick, yeah, perfectly understand. That's a fair point. Like, normally, if somebody said something like that to me, despite any stature, I'd knock them flat on their ass. But in this case, I'm literally sitting here and I probably am bleeding from somewhere. I don't exactly seem like I would be sent by the council. So I turn to everybody else and I'm kind of like, how do we prove it to be true, guys? Because I am not the poster child of a council adventuring party. And I just continue with my brandy.
I'm not a good example.
That teenage demon girl.
Like a better example than me.
Yeah, you're probably rubbing your head after I say that too. Like, well, shit. I mean, I'm not bleeding actively as I'm sitting over there realizing my bicep is bleeding for some reason.
My horn. It was my horn.
Ah.
And he says, and this, I mean, none of this in any offense. I truly respect you all, and I am a businessman though, and I must protect my interests and that of the seamen on this ship.
Your cargo is worth a lot of money, and I can understand why you don't want us just promising who we are and you getting the short end of the stick. That makes sense.
Yamsy's just sitting there sputtering, like still trying to come to terms with being suggested that ragtag, but it's just like, oh, I can't stand it being that. It's like, excuse me, sir. Well, not only could I craft for you the finest hat you have ever worn, but if you needed, I would be happy to give you a ride on our ship.
I was just thinking the ship might be kind of a good
experienced.
Again, no offense, but I saw your floating lady. She's a lovely ship, but she's a sloop. But it's nothing that seems too impressive. Again, no offense.
That's where the history would kick in again from the earlier stuff with me and Misery. I feel like I would be immediately inclined to be like, Captain, maybe unlike some of the other seamen on the ship, and no disrespect meant here either, but maybe unlike some of the other seamen on the ship, you're not quite aware of why that name is so important. I would ask you to remember the Donnager is, as far as ships go, second only to what ship? Do you remember the
Jade
name?
Lily.
Well, they say the Jade Lily. I don't believe it.
Oh yeah,
Jade Lily is second to only the Donnager.
That's fair. He'd be proud of his ship. Didn't even think about that.
But
basically what I'm alluding to, yeah, as I'm saying that, I'm like, well, our ship is basically like the next generation Jade Lily. It's not a simple sloop as it appears to be.
And you can see his proportionally large but physically small little gecko eyes squint as you say that, and he says, You mean to tell me that ship that you sailed in on is an airship?
Yeah.
I just gesture my tankard at Gamzee because he's the guy.
Just nodding my head up and down.
Well, this I have to see. Let's go. Let us go. Yes, we can. Yes, we can work out some details on our way over there. Let us go check this out. This is just so exciting. Yes, please.
He might just be excited just from like seeing the engine itself. Better yet, it actually flying. That's what a nerdy little gecko. What a little ship nerd.
Will we have
Feel
time
like
to do this
you're
and still
a
get back
nerd
for the
calling
party?
a nerd.
Yeah. Yep. That's great.
So,
Alright, so are we
before
back to-
before you head off the Donnager, he does give you a tour, a nice solid tour. So you get that, Hadrick.
Oh yes, I try to keep very stoic the whole time. Like, yes, this is nice. Obviously, I like this ship, but there's a few moments where you just kind of see me with that kind of like excitement of like a super fanboy, where I'm trying not to let anybody see it. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is
You're still
this is the
carrying
original.
Misery.
This is the original mast. Do you know the story behind? I don't even have the time to explain it to you, but it'll bother me if I don't. I just. Oh.
Go ahead, man. I know.
Well, that's what I'm doing. We're walking through this tour, and I'm talking your fucking ear off, Misery.
Misery literally doesn't give a single fuck. She's just like super stoked that Hadrick is stoked. So she's just like, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like I should update the flaws on my sheet to be like the Donnager. That's my
Obsessed.
flaw.
Obsessed with the Donnager.
Obsessed. Oh.
Won't shut the
That's
fuck
wonderful.
up about it.
I'm trying to draw because can't take a picture. I'm trying to draw what I see, and it just looks horrible because I've got no talent for it. But to me, it's totally like, yes, that's obviously this hole that I was just drawing. Like, it's so beautiful.
It's like a 4-year-old boy and fucking Thomas Tank Engine.
Yeah.
Or dinosaurs.
You could only make out what it is if I spell it out to you for like 30 seconds. It's like, oh, and then I have to grab it and turn it upside down because you're holding it upside down.
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna be his next tattoo.
Oh God, you're gonna see that across my back. Like, check it out. It's the Donnager. It's like that. That's the Don. Yeah. Okay.
So, on your way across, over to the floating lady, he's chatting. He says, "So, 4 tons? You say? 4 tons of
Yes.
ash.
That's what we need.
4 tons.
Well, given we typically ship somewhere in the order of 100 to 200 tons, see why we couldn't have, a couple percent go missing, maybe misweigh, something like that. Yes, fairly low risk for me and my crew. Say 10,000 gold in a favor.
I think we can.
You
make
said
that
earlier
happen.
we have how much from them? Like
5,000.
5,000? Okay.
Would you knock off 15% or more if I include a fine hat?
15%.
Do you have a catalog?
Oh, these are all bespoke hats.
The
Yeah,
portfolio.
It'll be custom made, but I can show him the hat that I'm wearing. I'm wearing one of my hats right now.
Me
Have
too.
you ever made lizard hats? What scale do you generally make your hats for?
I've made hats at all scales. I'm a professional artisan of the Weavers Guild. I own the famous hat shop in New Windermere, which I've forgotten what I've named it. Daring and Dapper.
Daring and Dapper.
D&D.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, I
It's
can't
the
say I'm
best.
familiar with many haberdasheries, let alone those across the continent, but I'm sure it's a fine hat store. It looks like a fine hat. I don't know if a gecko-sized hat is necessarily worth 1,500 gold, but perhaps we can chat more about the price.
Love how open he is to just having a conversation about it.
And by now you're on the floating lady, and he's walking around looking, and shaking his head and says, "Bullshit, artist. It's not an airship. Where's the engine? Where's all the stuff?"
Gamzee,
That's not
show
how
him
this
good
one
stuff.
works.
I start to like go to open the door to take like the engine, but then I hesitate and I like listen carefully. Are there any noises coming from the other side of the door?
Oh, no. Here, I'll put you on the Jade Lily here. So they're in the room up here, and they're again.
Oh, okay. We don't
they're
have to, we don't have to
they're.
bother them.
I am not having Iria have relations with this NPC without her consent.
I can call Maggie right now.
Well, we can always rewrite history the next time we play. It'll be like, "Hey, Maggie, did you hook up with her?" Okay, cool.
But the okay, there, yeah. The engine room is back over here.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So we can open the panel and show off the
Yeah.
engine here.
This is showing him the engine. This still doesn't give him any idea of like how this thing starts or anything, which is what I was concerned about initially, because I'm like, there's always going to be that back of the head thing where this is going too well. Like, he's a man who cares about money, but at least he seems to be willing. So
yeah,
I mostly trust this gecko, but I'm still a little antsy about like, let's not show him, how to start the ship or anything. But yes, check out the engine, bruh.
so this may be the first time that you've like gotten a really good look at the engine since you stole this thing.
Wow, look at that thing.
But it's this really like super well refined, compact, like think Ferrari engine bay, of airships, and it's just like nicely placed back here, and there's 2 visible Esper crystals glowing, and he's like climbing all over it and oohing and awing, and wow, I've never seen engineering like this in my life. This is quite something.
His voice has slowly devolved into Marge Simpson.
Hi.
Homie!
My voice can't keep doing it. As it gets later, I can't do it. So he says, okay, hear me out. Okay. I see this. This is good. I like this. How's this? I've got some precious cargo that I would like delivered to New Windermere much quicker than the Donnager can get there. You fill the rest of your ship up with that cargo along with your 4,000, 4,000 kilograms, 4 tons, whatever, 4 tons of ash. 3,000 gold, and we'll call it a day.
All right, let's make it happen.
Make it
There you go.
2,900, and I make you a custom hat.
Gamzee.
2,900 and a custom hat.
I was like,
Deal.
let Cassidy make him a hat. Come on.
All right.
I would say,
All right.
I'll spit on my hand and stick it out to shake.
His little gecko tongue goes
Like
Right on
high
your
fives me. Okay.
Yep, you feel a little. There we go. The contract is sealed. Yeah,
Sounds good.
this engine really beats the shit
All
out of
right,
your like ballast system, huh?
Michael
Yeah.
Parker.
yes.
You are the first custom hat of the game. So I need you to roll some dice.
Oh shit!
So
Okay.
start with,
This is what I'm here for.
give me a D12.
Are you taking measurements? Like, what is this embodying?
All right, a D12.
D12. This is gonna be the style of the hat.
Oh
Nice.
shit!
Okay, so you got you're getting a bucket hat.
Oh,
Roll
yeah.
another D12.
Immediately, yes.
It is a yellow bucket hat.
Ooh, dude, I'm already.
Roll me. Let's see here. Oh, this is 1, 2, 3, 4.
I did
5,
not
6,
know
7.
those were called bucket.
D10.
You didn't know what a bucket hat was?
No, no.
Matt, you grew up in the 90s.
Ooh, it is a. It has a checkered ribbon on it.
Cute.
Roll me a D8. It is embellished with a tassel. And then roll me 2 D4s. Or a D4 and a D4.
Okay.
One. Okay. So it is a short bucket hat with a short brim. It is yellow. It has that checkered ribbon and it has a tassel. That's the custom hat.
Wow, that's
Fucking
awesome.
awesome.
I love this.
Oh, it tassels like the graduation thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But super tasteful.
Yeah. It's not gaudy and long like the graduation tassel.
A
Yeah.
$100 value.
If anything, he just made an investment. That thing will probably earn money.
Oh man, that thing's gonna appreciate like nothing else.
Yep. Got that tag stitched in there. It's like a Gamzee original.
To the
I mean, I
moon.
googled yellow bucket hats and I kind of want one.
I had one come up. It was
I'm sorry,
McDonald's.
Michael, you Googled what?
Yellow bucket hats. Leave
Okay.
me alone.
Oh, I love that.
Yellow.
I am curious. I mean, we already agreed, but considering all the honesty so far, I do just want to ask him casually, and then depending on how he reacts, might be a little bit more suspicious. What is it we're transporting for you, if you don't mind me asking? Want to make sure we take care of it properly. Don't put it near any open flames, or let like a stray dog get in it or anything. We're trusting you with our information, so you can trust us.
He looks over his shoulder several times and then
In
leans
this
in real
tiny little
close.
gecko.
Leans in real close, but like it's literally millimeters when he leans in. So it doesn't make much of a difference. And he says, would it change your mind if I said it was people?
Not fucking again. Sorry, that's out of character.
I mean, not necessarily, because for Hadrick, it's like, well, are we taking them there to get turned into steaks or be slaves, or maybe they're escaping something? Like, we don't know, So if I don't ask anything more, Hadrick can go to sleep with a, clean conscience.
Gamzee,
So
do you want to be honor?
he just waits there for a response.
I look to everybody else because I'm like, not really. But what do you guys?
As long as,
Point
as
of
long as
order.
we get the ash.
Point of order. what is the absolute most you would think that a bucket hat should cost?
Oh shit. You found like a Gucci fucking crazy ass.
I would
bucket
say
hat.
like $16,000.
Fucking. I mean, of course, Rick, based on logic, I would think something with a Supreme label would go for a couple $100, probably at least. But there's probably some bedazzled, jeweled piece of shit out there.
A Gucci bucket hat would be fresh.
That would be pretty fresh.
Hit us, Rick. How much?
So Loro Piana is an Italian designer.
Yeah, the Laura Piano. Come on, Rick. Come on.
I've never heard of this.
Not a
fucking
clue.
thing
Not a
before.
goddamn clue.
Yeah,
Not a
don't
clue.
let Matt fuck you up. He absolutely does not know.
Just committing.
Don't let him fist you.
Can I share my screen, Mike?
It's that worthy. I love it. Maggie, this is for you. Get a bucket hat. This bucket hat.
For your baby.
Yeah, this is for the baby. We're gonna chip in for you.
$1,260.
Is
That's
it
ugly,
made of
though.
babies?
That's ugly.
Everybody
Wow.
chip in like $250.
That doesn't even have a tassel.
It's
Oh,
It's
made of
reversible to
What happens if you go
faux
large?
fur.
Let-
Is it more expensive
Okay,
for large?
okay. Laz's little cat thing has that same material on it. What?
Actually, that looks more like
that
those
doesn't-
really soft throw blankets. You know, I got one of those.
Yeah.
This
That's-
one's 435, which was not nearly ridiculous enough.
There's no,
Here's my ad blocker took it out,
dang.
but
Still, wow.
See, ad
Those
blocker.
don't, those don't pass the garage
I
sale
guess you
test.
actually lowballed it. You should have been like, it's worth 1,000 gold.
yeah.
Not that gold is direct to dollars, because
But I've never heard of Loro Piana.
I mean, I feel like in the D&D world, 100 gold for a hat. That's got it. That's pretty.
That's a
stupid.
nice hat.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
nice hat, right?
That's a
It-
really nice hat.
It like
It
can't
do
get wet
be
or
looking
something.
nice though.
For
It's
a
a gold- it's a golden
non-magical
hat.
hat too, like that's a
No,
nice
it's
hat.
Yeah,
Right. It's 100% non-magical.
that's
It
crazy.
would be kind of cool if just Gamzee's so good that without any intention, hence the dice rolling too, he could also accidentally enchant it. Like he's just doing it so good, you roll a dice again, and it's like this will make you 3% lighter in weight. It's just some really small, stupid
mundane.
enchantment, but it counts. This makes you
It's-
glow with
it's
like
not gonna
10
give you-
lumens of glow value.
It's
That's
not
it.
going to give you +1 on anything, but it's going to
No.
like emit dim light in a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, exactly. Just the most silly. It's like when you go and play the game of like, what's the worst superpower? And you had shit like on the Misfits with people being able to control milk, like things like that. It's like something really just subtle and silly, but
I
maybe
love
if you're
Misfits.
creative, it
That
could
was
be
a
great.
good show.
I
It
can
really was.
I can read minds, but only on Tuesday afternoons from 3 to 7.
I'm invisible, but only when people aren't looking at me. Like fucking what?
That would be fun to add another column for random.
Like just pointless superpower.
I
Yeah.
say if you ever get some sort of like enchanted like
Hey,
kit
I-
for your hat making, that then you get a random small enchantment.
if you have refined Esper crystals,
Ooh.
I would say if you want to enchant something that way, you make yourself a little table, and if you want to spend a refined Esper crystal to roll on that when you're creating something, I'm
Okay.
totally on.
That's cool.
I'll probably
That's
say that
fucking
for special
sweet.
customers, but yeah, I will make that. I'll add that to my table.
I love that. Maybe you could even do like one table for the enchantment, one for like how it is, but still even the max ain't that much. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool little gimmick. What about the trafficking people? Are you guys all okay with this? Because Hadrick turned to you and he's okay with it. Not gonna ask anything more because again, Hadrick he doesn't think going there to be slaves, but
Well, I mean, the thing is, as long as we get the ash on the ship, I mean, sometimes things get lost. So
Oh, damn. Going to use the same logic to. Okay.
He's not saying this out loud while the
Yeah,
captain's
clearly.
fucking there, right?
No,
Probably
clearly
stepped
not.
away from the gecko, or I'm standing there with him and I are just bullshitting about, boats. You guys are talking because I've already made it clear that Hadrick doesn't seem to mind because he's focused on the mission and still starstruck by the Donnager. But I'll be over there talking to him. You guys are having this conversation then.
This
Yeah,
is because I'm kind of stooped over. I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on this tiny little hat. I've got my goggles on, magnifying, so I can see what I'm doing.
With that Spy Kids level tick, 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 magnifying glass eye.
Yeah.
I hate it.
you love it.
Every time I see that GIF, I do. Like when it's some sort of sexy cosplay chick with just a little underwear showing, somebody always puts that GIF of like magnification. And I'm like, you goddamn weebs.
I mean, isn't that what those pictures are for, though?
Oh yes, 100%. But it's just it's so hilarious. I love it every time.
I mean, if you're editing them like in typical cosplay fashion and there is panties visible,
They know
it
what
was
they're-
on purpose.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the Simps will pay.
I mean, for that little sniff, yeah.
Yeah, they will. Does anyone care about the people thing? I don't think Misery does. That sounds bad, but
No, I think we're good.
I mean, as long as we're not transporting people into bondage, Gams or Zelpus is okay with it. Like as long as they're not actively slaves.
well, we'll find out.
If they are slaves, Zelpus is gonna have a problem with it.
Well, it comes down to if somebody's going to ask. I can hear. I just got to feed the dog. So just letting you guys know.
Yeah, Zelpus is gonna ask, are they enslaved?
I'm so glad you asked. It's not people.
What?
Oh,
All right,
Was
that
a
was
test.
a test. Cool,
Test.
because I don't mind
Jesus,
I don't mind.
If you would have been okay transporting slaves, people, or people just no questions asked, I was gonna have to back out. You seem like decent people. All right.
we were going to be okay with transporting people as long as they weren't in bondage.
No.
Well, not that type of bondage. If it's the other bondage, that's fine.
As long as they weren't enslaved.
yeah. Party room 5, right?
Party
Don't get
room
me wrong. I
4
love
is
Party
the-
Room
is the
5.
ro-
It's wonderful.
Is the rope room.
Some CBT.
Nice.
No,
Cannonball
it's
torture.
it's not people. It is just some meat. Well, lots of meat that would just be better served fresh than several days old. So you're gonna be filled with meat. My semen will come over, fill you with
Fucking
meat.
God, not again! No!
Thank you. I hate it.
I'm not actually mad. I don't care.
And yeah, so he drafts up a little contract. And says, now, this isn't to be shared with any port authority or anything else, but this is just a contract between entrepreneurs. Something that, if one of us should fuck each other over, we have proof of it.
There you go.
Okay.
And so he signs and asks for you to sign, and then he yawns and says, well, we will arrange the exchange of goods tomorrow when we start receiving them. But I have a party room to get to. You're welcome to come back and Party on, Wayne.
Party on.
Party on, guys.
I'm joining for the party for sure because this has been a huge success.
I mean, yeah, there's no reason not to party. They don't have the ash yet.
And we'll still have somebody watching the ship, even with that paranoia, itching in the back of the head that now they're aware this is a flying ship, but he seems totally on the up and up.
Yeah, you're not getting any nefarious vibes from this dude. He
Love it.
seems completely on the up and up. Like super straight shooter.
Wow.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, he is the head seeker.
Yeah.
He do be the head seaman.
But with that,
Before he leaves, I do measure his head.
Okay, yeah. It's maybe a centimeter in circumference.
Oh,
He's little.
But yeah, the night goes on. Those of you that party hard. Those of you that stay behind, get some rest or whatever. We go through a little montage the next morning of supplies starting to get loaded, carted out of Dewhurst and back to the Donnager. Who all went to the party and who stayed back?
I went to the party.
Definitely went to the party.
Yeah, back to the party.
Everyone go back to the party.
yeah. I'm, at the
Person-
party.
So
Yeah.
I'm partying.
Party.
when you get back to the ship, Iria and Della and Lockley are not there.
Cool.
But your ship is now being loaded up with
Not
your
people.
ash and just crates and crates of meat and ice blocks.
Did
Your
they leave
entire,
a note?
the entire lower deck is completely
Meat.
packed to the brim, filled with crap. We'll see the camera sort of panning out from a bird's eye view of the floating lady, pans out even further, kind of like a drone shot, right? And the Donnager comes into view, and then all of Dewhurst is sort of in a view, and then all of a sudden, from just north of Dewhurst, this huge blast of earth shoots up from the ground. Rocks and dust and everything flies up in the air, and we don't see your reaction this session quite yet, but you assume volcano, right? Like you're here at Mount Grimsey. There's this huge explosion of earth coming up, and then as the camera continues to pan out, the explosion just keeps going further and further and further up until you see, sort of through the resolution of all of the debris, this giant metal sphere being ripped from the ground. A sphere that looks very familiar to you.
Us
The dome.
character, us the players.
You as the characters, you as the players, both. The dome in New Windermere, that 10-mile in diameter sphere that's lodged into the ground there. This is a goddamn spitting image. And it wasn't there, like it wasn't jutting out of the ground before, but now this thing is shooting up out of the ground like an asteroid in reverse, hitting the earth, and it flies up into the air and just starts soaring past the river that has been roiled up. Your ship has been roiled up in this ripple as the sphere flies out of the earth, and the sphere just sort of flies into the camera and goes black.
I don't like that.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's a hell of a cliffhanger there,
Yeah,
bud.
that's a cool twist.
Hey, bud, just really fucking quick. What the fuck?
Hey, bud, what the fuck?
Well, party all night, man.
Guess we'll find out next time.
You'll find out next time.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Right.
Are we playing next week?
So, let's look at calendars really quick. Because with holidays,
I will be in Chicago next week. I won't be able to visit Maggie because of the fresh baby and everything that's going on.
Still a bullshit excuse.
so I am free next Thursday. I'm free the following Thursday.
I have the 16th written down as maybe I just had this thing repeating bi-weekly. Maybe that's
That's probably the way I used to have it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way I had it
I
too.
think that's what I've done. Okay.
So I am available next Thursday, but not on the 16th. But that's not a reason not to play.
I can do
Oh.
next week.
Feel like because shit is about to pop the fuck off, if it not has already, those were words. It would be probably idealistic for most folks, if not all, to join the next couple of sessions, in my personal humble opinion.
Yeah, it's not that I'm like not available. I'm just probably not going to be in a state to do much. I'm having a vasectomy that day. So
Oh, what a fun time
Yeah.
for you.
That's fun. I think I'm doing that next year.
yeah. Sarah has
I was
an
supposed to
allergic
do it this year, and then I had other surgery take precedence.
Sarah has an allergic reaction to one of the additives in her birth control that makes her like bleed for a month,
Mm.
which is no
Hey,
fun.
that's what's happening with me.
And so the third time in 20 months that the pharmacy filled it wrong, I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Did you yell at them? I would totally yell at them.
Oh, I was furious.
I would throw shit at them. Fuck you.
And they,
I'm
like-
not coming back.
Okay, Karen.
Well,
the
that's a-
doctor wrote the prescription for this specific generic, but because it was a generic, the pharmacy filled it however they want, and they told me that they could just do that, and I was like,
Mm,
I don't know how that works.
Well, I could just fucking headbutt you across this counter.
I mean,
You know, just fucking whatever, bro.
so I took the prescription to a different pharmacy and ended up having to pay for something that should have been covered completely by insurance. So I was like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I just
Like,
want the right shit.
I want the right shit, and I want to not have to deal with this anymore. And then the next day I called the place and scheduled a consultation for a vasectomy
Nice.
because
I was just gonna say, I would say to Parker's point, then, as long as we've got Maggie out too, if anybody's kind of missing, it gets a bit light. So, I mean, if it's one of those things where we're looking based on the holidays and everything like that, that we can't kick back off until January, we've gone longer between sessions because I know it lines up to be the 23rd and the 30th. That's smack dab right near the holidays.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine on the 30th,
That
but
gives
not on the
Maggie another
23rd.
month to,
No,
get
it'd be-
her shit
yeah.
together.
I could do the 30th, but I got a Friendsgiving on the 23rd, so me and my roommate are gonna be out like all night.
A Friendsgiving or a Friends Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
They're doing late Friendsgiving.
We
extra
had a
late.
Friendsgiving, but we did like a white elephant or a white buffalo or whatever it's called, and
Not one of those was correct.
The pecky
and so we have that, and then we have another one too. So
Hairy
I don't know.
buffalo.
It's gonna be fun.
I vote for maybe January then.
I got my roommate as my secret Santa
There you go.
person.
We can just push it past the holiday or the holidays. And I would say, I mean, if we want to get together, do anything else. I mean, any of the nights, Thursday nights roll around that people are free. I'm
Yeah.
super down with that idea, but that should that gives Maggie also some time to hopefully be back, able to join us by January. And then we can see what the fuck's going on with this giant ball bearing.
Mm-hmm.
I just like that it was a night full of semen and we ended with a giant ball.
Anyway, I fucking hate it here. Thank you.
Before anybody
Cat
else,
and ball torture. Because with Percy,
I double
I'm just
hate
saying.
it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
before
Rick, I feel
anybody
like I
else
know what you're
steals
gonna
it,
do.
my
it.
gratitude for this evening is the fucking custom hat chart. That was in fucking incredible.
Yeah, I was like, that's a legit thing. That's cool.
I don't know
love
whether or
that
not
your
it was
hat making
custom,
is like
but that was incredible.
Yeah, no, I made that for this character. As soon as I established it was a haberdashery, it's like, well, I need to have this ready to go.
That is
So cool.
That is next level, Chris. I fucking love it.
That was
Makes me
pretty good.
so happy.
We do be loving that.
Mhm.
I'll pile on right after that then, because my gratitude immediately goes to you, Rick, because I really enjoyed how you suddenly, I'm just sitting here, I hear a blink, and I look at the, my screen and I see you rolled for your musical instrument, and I'm like, oh shit. Then that turned into a nice little experience with
That was fun.
trading
Yeah.
the, very, important object to you. And then I love that you were like, I start hitting it, I'm not quite getting it. You roll again, and you're like, and then I start to find the groove. Because in my mind, all I thought right away was, even though it would be unrealistic to the real world, I imagine because of that interesting connection and that exchange of something so meaningful and how you suddenly just found the groove, that I know you were proficient with your old musical instrument. As far as I'm concerned, you're proficient in drums. You should roll that as though you're proficient, because the spirit took you, bro. So
I mean,
I really
the
like
spirits of the ancestors gave me the ability to find the rhythm.
Yeah, I love that. That was wonderful. So, yes.
I'll give gratitude to Michael Parker for making Captain Head Seaman a gecko. Like, that was so random, but I just adore that character now. Like, this is going to be one of the most memorable characters of this whole campaign. So it's like, that was great.
I do love him very much.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I will protect him with everything inside of me.
I've always loved the idea of humanoid reptilian heroes. Ever since Chrono Trigger.
Oh yeah, that's right. The like frog dude or whatever.
The
right?
frog dude, like
Yeah.
ever since him, I've loved the idea of like this like super awesome reptilian hero guy.
Love it.
My gratitude, it has to go to Hadrick for being a boat nerd.
That was
man,
funny.
that was
Oh, that's
fine.
brilliant. I love that addition to your character.
That was
And, like-
fucking epic.
Like, now we have this story of the Donnager, who was named after a dwarven bar wench who never spilled a drop. He's a swarthy, sturdy barmaid, and espers used to make it more buoyant, and it has 5 party rooms. One's the galleon, one's a bath. It's like, it just like, so great.
It is a ship of lore now for sure. That was really fun. I enjoyed you. You definitely caught me off guard, and I assume the same for Parker when suddenly it's like, all right, play out that little fucking joke you just made about how you went back and forth with history. Do it. And I was like, oh shit. I just got like, okay, put your money where your mouth is, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I was not. I ended up having a lot of fun tonight, but when we first started, I was not feeling it, and I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, it's fine. Dude, it's fine.
Yeah, that was.
I get it.
Fun. Esper ballast technology.
I didn't even know we were doing this till Mike texted me, because I checked Facebook yesterday and it was not in my feed. And like I haven't been on Facebook in a while, and like I checked it on Monday, then I checked it yesterday, and I was like, oh well, this ain't going on. I didn't think we were doing this tonight, so
I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what we talked about, and I remember putting it on my calendar, and now I look in my calendar and it's not there. And
mistakes were made.
It's possible that like I said, I probably just had it repeat forever, so we might not have planned it, but
we might have.
Yeah, it's possible.
We might. I don't know. We might have ended the night with like, oh, let's talk about it when we're less tired, and then we never did because we were tired and we forgot that we said that. Because that sounds about like something I would do.
I've seen me do that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now we've got it locked in. We're looking at first week of January. Take a nice little break, but if anybody wants to throw out hey, if anyone's free, want to join up to do something, I mean, please do.
Yeah. I want to try and run a one shot.
Like I mentioned in the group earlier, I think I'm going to be dedicating a lot of my time trying to figure out this Sea of Thieves thing that I want to do.
Oh yeah,
that sounds really cool.
So
I'm just afraid to forget something when I'm going back to school in January.
Yeah, I don't know how I want to accomplish it, but like now that there's dice in the game and there's more stuff that you can do to like create custom quests and stuff, I think what I want to do is design like a really simple role-playing game that you can play as part of the game and then stream it. So I'll probably be spending the time that I wouldn't be, or that I would be doing that. Like I said, anyone's welcome to join me in coming up with ideas or just playing. But then, yeah, like Matt said, any other like Thursday that you just want to do something, Thursdays are open.
Nice.
Cool.
Yay.
Well, I gotta go to bed, and I will. Oh, Michael, you guys have to do gratitude.
I was gonna say my gratitude is just to everybody going along with the whole semen and sexual innuendos. I love it. It's just great.
Well, I wouldn't say everyone went along with it.
Yeah. Some people didn't want to just lean into the semen, but
what?
Some people are currently pissed off that they don't have a baby inside them, so they wouldn't have to suffer, but also realize why they don't have a baby in them, and it's fun, but it's also complicated.
Well, you know what would help with that? Semen.
Good old fisting.
Well, it's not. My partner is out of the fucking state right now, so this is where we're at.
I'm to mail you some.
Well, there's not just one semen.
No, there's so many semen.
There's millions.
So much semen in the world.
Just imagine the pure amount all together in the world. There's more than enough.
I mean,
oh, Maggie, we're still recording. I'm so sorry.
Oh
no! Oh no! Oh no!
I hope she sits down and watches this entire thing.
The whole thing.
She can't get away from it.
Yep.
She can't.
See, just like Mike said earlier, she might have skipped all the way to the end. Like, did they keep it up the whole time? And immediately,
Yep.
semen.
It's sticky.
It's a sticky
I mean,
situation.
It's pretty.
it's hard. It's hard to keep it up after the semen.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
true. It is.
It was a long, hard night, and it's difficult to, yeah.
You
Bro,
know,
guys,
although
round 2.
looking back on it, I feel like it kind of left a stain on this
Oh,
session.
no.
It did
Yeah,
leave a bad
true.
taste in my mouth.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you.
Finally, thank you.
Now everybody has officially
Yes,
leaned in.
yes.
We love you, Maggie.
Yeah.
Good job, Parker.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
for
you.
Maggie.
That one was for you, Maggie.
My
Uh,
gratitude goes to all of you for putting up with my grumpy ass at the very beginning. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know you were grumpy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was.
You don't have
I
to
had a
apologize,
day.
it's fine.
It was not a good day. Mentally, it's fine now, but
Same.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
had a
It's hard to
horrible
stay
day,
disgruntled with this group.
but you've revived me.
we've all been done, had a day, and then got on this here stream and turned that frown right upside down.
Yep.
I thought you were
Oh,
gonna say we done diddly. We done diddly had a day.
Hi diddly ho, neighbor.
Hadley hodily.
All right,
Yeah.
now you can go to bed.
Okay, go to bed. I love you all.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Love
y'all.
Bye.
Good
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.